How's it going? This is Lloyd Schaefer from 51 Gaming. We're going to be playing x3o here. This is going to be week, I want to say week 3. We are currently 1-3. x3o is, however, 5-0. We're starting T-side here on Nuke. What you're going to see on our pistol round here is a little different than most people do. I kind of go ramp to start off here. I have my team set up. I'm just going to go kind of draw out any nades that could be here that would later on stop our rush ramp. And I'm going to spot it out here, and I don't see anything. I have a feeling that they're playing in vents because I've heard them shoot out vents a couple times. So that's clear. I have my team, 3 team members to smoke off heaven. They all follow me ramp. We walk it. And then what happens is I have a guy on T roof as well. He's going to flash heaven for me. As he flashes heaven, these guys next to me are going to go up heaven. I'm going to clear outside here, and then I'm going to kind of look for this heaven guy to be flushed out. We get control of heaven rather quick. We still have all 5 guys alive. And we're basically just trying to hold a site here now as soon as we get the bomb planted. And as you can see, it actually worked out really well. They were playing in the vents. They were playing a retake. And we ended up getting the round. We are currently 1-3. So we have a couple guys that did some drinking before this match, try and loosen the nerves a little bit. We've lost 3 matches. 2 of them were in OT, as well as one of them was pretty close. So
I'm gonna try to jump it first.
This round we're going to play a counter eco. Basically, we're going to try and keep our ranged weapons against their USPs if possible. We're going to kind of work outside for the majority. We have one guy that's watching the flank. Everyone else is going to be working around mini here. And then once we see that they have at least 2 more people upper, I'm going to have a guy go lower. He's basically going to clear out everything down here and then make sure it's okay for our bomb guy to come down. As you can see on the screen before, the back vent is not broken out, which means that they are probably not in either side of barrel door or control side. So they're either in the vent or they're in the actual lower site. Deppy's still watching the flank, kind of. He's catching the early rotators anywhere. And then he's going to kind of hold the ramp flank as well. Now he hears him flanking. He's just having he's having a hard time hearing it. So now we're just setting up for a post plant here. Nothing special. We got 2 guys in barrel side and 1 guy control side. If they try and hop on a defuse here, it should be a pretty easy win for us. So now we're going up. It's up 2-0. We should be expecting another eco on their part. What I'm expecting, though, is I'm expecting them to do something a little more aggressive. They played a little passive that time, and it didn't work out for them. They didn't get very many kills, to be honest with you. The guy that killed me was a pretty random shot outside. So we're going to go a little aggressive on the inside here, and then we're going to still boost up. And watch it from there. When I get calls from my teammates that they get aggressive push, we're going to kind of retake lobby here, Ryan and I. And that's what we need to do. We have a one-on-one situation here. He probably has a gun, considering they've killed 4 of us. What he's doing is just busting out the vents, hopefully getting one of them to drop lower. But as you can see, he hears them out here.
Oh shit. Below you.
And he wins a nice round. We lost a little more money than I'd like to lose on that round. However, any round is good as long as you get the win. As you can see, Dream still only has 3,200. Cronus was low as well, so now for this first gun round here, we actually have 2 people with deagles and armor as opposed to 5 AKs. What we're going to do is we're just going to test out their upper spawns, see exactly what they have going on here and how they're playing upper. And what you see is we actually get into the site with pretty much ease. Their 2 rotators are uppers. There's one of them, and AZK was upper as well. With that being said, one thing we're going to try and do in the next upper spawn is smoke off heaven. That'll stop that rotate heaven to get 2 of us. He actually got 3 kills in that round, which pretty much won them the round. Also, another thing to keep in mind is Adren was the guy playing ramp, and he seemed to rotate to big ladder. So that means that we could go down vents and get a potential bomb plant down lower. This round, we're just going to try and rush ramp, see if we can get up close on these ranged oppers, see if we can make a play on them. We could have done a better job of actually going together on this. We did kind of go 1 by 1 and gave Adren the chance to basically kill us 1 by 1. Pex rotated lower to help him out a little bit. Killed me there. We're actually going to save again. We have 3 rounds already on Nuke. You normally think of Nuke as an extremely CT-sided map. So when we have 3 rounds already, we're not too in a hurry to get as many as we want. You're going to see a little later on in the demo that it ends up being a T-sided map for both teams, which is quite interesting. What I'm going to do here is we're going to both flash upper here. It is a save. Most importantly, we want to try and get the bomb down so that we can buy anything we want next round. So what we're going to do is I'm going to flash heaven. He's going to flash squeaky. And then we're going to have 2 guys go out squeaky and try and get the bomb down lower. The only thing that stops us there is AZK is actually in big garage this time. He's spotting the squeaky door for him. And that puts it into that. Now we're going to go ahead and buy. We will, more than likely for the most half of this, we're going to run a 2-op setup if we have the money. Myself and Cronus are usually the oppers. If we only run a 1-op setup, it'll be myself and Cronus will AK. What we're going to do now is we're going to do something a little different. We're just going to do a default pick and roll strat, which is basically 2 outside, 2 ramp, and 1 person working HUD a little bit. When we do that, it kind of keeps 2 people at ramp, and we can work outside, hopefully to isolate this 1 guy. But it doesn't look like they're playing outside, so I'm going to anticipate that he's going to rotate this time. And I'm going to kind of spot up for him here. And he ends up being there, and then I get another kill on a guy that shouldn't have been peeking outside with a Colt. That was definitely his fault. So now we're just putting a pinch on upper. We got control of their heaven. As well as mini. Anytime you have control of both of those, it's pretty much a given. Now we're just trying to figure out exactly where he's going to try and make his attempt from here. It's a 1-on-4. 1-on-4, you wouldn't think he'd try and be getting all these kills to come into the site. However, he is a little arrogant. Plus, he's a stats guy. We knew he was going to try and get at least exit kills. So we're going to kind of sit back and wait for him. I hear him run out to T spawn. And then the bomb kills me there, which is pretty bad luck. However, we did win the round. We're up 4-3. Our money situation's looking pretty good. We have another upper spawn as well this time. The only difference is what we're going to do is we're going to smoke out heaven and we're going to rush ramp. What the smoking out heaven does is it also gets, if they're playing 2 people ramp, it'll get a rotator back to heaven as quick as possible because they would think it's an upper rush. What actually happened here was they didn't over rotate at all. They played 3 upper and 2 ramp. They didn't play anyone outside that round. So that's where we get that situation from. Now I try to take heaven here. I peeked the spawn boxes. Normally that's where a guy sits there. He was just on the opposite side of the spawn boxes. It's actually a pretty good angle. You can't get shot from under heaven, and most people don't check it. So now we're at 4-4. We have to save. It's a good round on their part. If we won that round, they would have had to save, and it would have given us another round. However, we do have 4 already. We're getting entry kills. We're feeling pretty confident about the side as well. What I'm going to do here is, I notice they keep a guy that rushes in through mini a lot. They don't play outside heavily. So I'm going to flash mini for them. And then they're going to rush into mini. Hopefully we can kind of pinch upper. And maybe get a bomb plant by dropping down the vents or going upper. He's going to drop down the vents here. And should be able to get a plant. If he would have planted up close to the box, he could have got a plant. So most importantly is when you're going to try and get a plant lower, realize where your rotators are coming from. If they're coming from only the vents, more than likely you need to plant up close to the box. It provides a little cover for you. This time we're going to save again. Like I said, we're double saving because we've got 4 rounds already. Normally we would buy on some of these rounds where we can just get AK armor. I'm going to do the exact same thing here. I'm going to flash twice for them. And then they're going to come in, and we're going to try and do something similar, except I'm going to make a little noise hut. The difference this time, AZK actually plays big garage. He gets one of us, slows us down. So instead of us getting those early entries and being able to have the site clear, he spots us, and they're able to have their guys rotated already. So now we're going to go ahead and buy. What we're going to do here is we're going to try and exploit the fact that their upper is pretty weak. They have a couple of their weaker players around that area. So we are going to run what we call our bread and butter. Basically, I have 2 guys that are smoking up heaven right now. We have 2 guys out here that are going to be smoking off big garage. Then we're just going to flash everything out here and rush straight to mini. What happened to me there is he was on catwalk. I ran out a little early before the flash could go off. That was a fault of mine. But as you can see, we took the site upper rather easily. We've got 4 guys alive. The bomb planted. The round is ours to lose at this point. Which you're going to see we actually... a bad communication on our part. The bomb was planted on the heaven side. We don't really have anyone in position that could see the diffuser from here. And they just kind of flash all of our spots and then hop on the diffuse. It's a good retake by them. Poor positioning and communication on our part. We should have been in better spots to stop a push of some sort. We had a guy that came up vents, and instead of killing the bomb planter, he decided to try and go for the guy up top, which was not what he should have done there in that case. However, you're going to have small mistakes like that. We're a brand new team. It's our first week together, so we're just going to hit an upper rush here. We were pretty confident last time that we did it. The only difference was they had the uppers in heaven. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of pick it myself. And once I have a chance to spot up on it, we can figure it out from there. We know the last guy's hut, so I'm going to try and take the bomb lower here. From this point, it's a 2-on-1. If we get guys on both sides of the door here, it should be an excellent crossfire. He should have to run to each side to kill each of us, which should leave him with no time to defuse the bomb. So that's basically what we're doing. As you can see, the back vent was not broken, so I can just play the sound and just listen for him. get the call that he went control side, so that's the reason we're picking back here. And that's that. Our upper rush was pretty successful there. Instead of smoking heaven, letting them know we're coming, I went ahead and bought an op, and I picked their mini and heaven. Basically, I just took their oppers, and I just wanted to pick them myself instead of letting them get the easy rotate kills. And that's what worked out for us there. So as you can see, we've got 5 rounds already. Pretty solid half force so far. They could be saving in this round as well. So we're going to go to our default setup, which is basically, it could be a counter strat, or I mean a counter eco, or it could be a regular strat. And basically it's just a 2-1-2. On most maps you have one of those. It's just kind of a see where they're stacked and let's kill them kind of strat. I see one outside with a deagle, so I know that they're saving. I tell my team to start working upper, work that upper pinch, and that's what we're going to do. Some man, the guy that was in the window there, actually rushed up, so we know under heaven is probably clear. We're basically still going to split this. I'm going to check back steps here. And then we decide to actually keep the bomb upper. We have a couple guys that are in upper right now, and it's pretty clear. We have a guy up in heaven. When we have a guy up in heaven, it's always best to plant upper. That's a huge advantage to have. And now we're just looking for this last guy, and it turns out he actually comes up big ladder behind all of us. He gets 3 deagle headshots, which brings around from a 1-on-4 to a 1-on-1. And it's a good thing I got that shot there because it was planted for heaven side and not mini side. Could have been a bad deal for us. So we pick up a 7-6 now. Not too much is going to change. I'm going to boost Ryan up. The reason I boost him up is because I want him to spam big ladder or heaven. And he can do that quicker if I boost him up, which means that he may catch them on a rotate. And then I'm going to work outside by myself. We've got 2 guys putting pressure on ramp as well. And then we're basically going to work into this same default here where we're splitting upper. We hear that there's one outside with a deagle, which lets me know that they're probably saving again. So I can easily let my team know that, and then when we do say that, usually our AKs group up, that way they can't be forced to get a couple 1D on us, and then we lose the round. So we do kind of bunch up here and go from there. Pretty much the same deal every round. Once we see a weakness, we're going to kind of, as you can see, he listed in game right there, 89 and 6. That boost that I boosted him up there, he did actually get a spam. Spammed him for 89. So if you ever do want to, if they're coming up heaven quickly and running over to above hut rafters, you might want to try that. Boost up, spam kind of deal, if you know the spam for heaven. This round we're going to do something almost the exact same. I mean, I'm going to work it a little quicker. I get a Dren up in big ladder. I'm going to kind of work this real quick and get a couple teammates out here. Now I know there's one up in big ladder. So I'm going to kind of spot up for him here. I get the call that he doesn't have much health left. So I'm going to bring my teammate around here. And then I'm just going to kind of nade him, clear out that heaven. Now I know the other guy's probably not in heaven. So we're just going to kind of keep our eyes peeled to where he's at. And I get a call that he's mini. And actually hit the shot there. Don't even give him a chance to come in and work a play to defuse. So it's 8-7 at the half. Really good. Couldn't have expected a better half, to be honest. Feeling really confident if we get this pistol round that we're going to get the match here, which is by far the biggest upset in ESCA if it happens. Like I said, x3o is 5-0. No teams really came close to him. Netcode Illuminati lost 16-14 the very first week. Other than that, no teams really came close to beating him. So we're kind of excited. Once again, we're going to try not to put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We've been in this situation the past couple weeks where we've taken it down to the last round or in overtime, and it's gone the other way each time. Okay, it looks like we're about to go live here. Just to give you an idea of what we're going to do pistol round. We are going to set up for pretty much similar to how they did it. The only difference is I'm going to put a little more pressure on ramp than they did. We have 2 guys in vents, 2 guys upper, and then myself is going to be putting the pressure on the ramp. What I try to do here at ramp is I kind of spot it. I'm a little aggressive. No one expects really an aggressive ramp player on pistol round, and I like to use the USP up close. So I'm going to push in, try and get a quick kill. If I don't, worst case scenario, I want to get a nade that lands on top of him, and that's what my goal is on this. And as you can see, it actually works. I get my nade. And it works out nice. Now what I'm going to do is, once they've met that resistance at ramp, I hope it slows down their strat, disrupts them a little bit, and I'm going to fall back to outside. My job is basically to make sure they don't go backstairs. We have a guy in big ladder right now, and we also have 2 in upper and then 2 in vents. I take a peek ramp. I hadn't heard anything from them. Apparently they walked out the entire time and then just peeked and waited for a push, and I pushed right into it. So we're still running the same setup. 1 big ladder, 1 mini now. He's going to kind of watch that push to backstairs, and then our guys lower are basically ready for a retake upper. But it looks like they sent 3 up to big ladder and then out hut as well. So it kind of worked our strat perfectly. Once I died, I was not able to help him under big ladder. So we don't get the pistol round. Usually means we're going to be saving 2 rounds here. The first round we're going to play basically our default spots, see what they're going to think about doing here, and then maybe the next round we can devise something to try and beat that same strat. Hopefully they run it again. And I'm an outside player here, so I'm basically just going to be spotting it, maybe trying to shoot someone in the side, maybe get a quick dink off. But it's pretty hard when you're long range with a pistol and they have AKs or Galils. Spot a couple outside. There was a flash as well as an AK'er and a USP. So I know there's probably at least 2 outside. I'm just going to kind of play passive here. I had a guy rotate to backstairs in case I died. I'm going to be kind of the bait here. If they kill me, I want them to believe that they have a clear path outside to go lower, and maybe he can pick up a couple kills. As you can see, he's standing right there, just boosted up in a corner. Everyone else is pretty much kind of playing spread out. Cronus is lower. He's going to go vent. And then Deppy's still holding heaven. Cronus gets up, gets a nice kill on the bomb planter. Not sure how they let him get all the way in there like that without peek anything, but it worked out. So what they did on that round is it looks like they basically did something similar to what we did. They work outside, use the long range to their advantage. So what I'm going to have them do this round is I'm going to send 2 people to nade ramp when they spot one. When they nade that ramp, they're going to instantly fall back. Hopefully it'll make x3o think that we're stacking ramp. And then we're all 5 going to be outside waiting for them to be out there. And if that works out, we should all be able to peek at the same time and get a few kills and possibly be able to pick up a couple guns and win this round. So that's the plan for this round. We're just kind of waiting here in Big Garage. Got a guy peeking outside, just yellow. Just because I don't want it to look like a setup. We always had one guy outside. So I wanted them to believe it was just normal. Now when they got that kill, should be a perfect bait. We should have everyone alive and outside right now. And as you see, I can get a kill in the back there. As well as another one. We know there's one more outside. I'm going to try and get this guy's AK and hopefully get this round. He peeks out in time and catches me with the 1D before I can get the gun. Probably saves them that round, to be honest with you. If I get the AK there, I probably get that kill on that guy, as well as the 2 guys remaining still in the round with MP5s. But nonetheless, it was a good eco. We got 2 AKs down. As well as an MP5er. They should be a little low on money here. If they lose this round, they should go into a save. So that's what we're kind of hoping happens here. What I'm going to do is until we figure out the spawn count, I'm going to play a little towards mini here. That way I can help on an upper rush. And then once we figure out which spawn they have the best spawn, we'll be able to know from that point. You see Ryan gets picked early in this round. It's a spam shot through the rafters with an op, and it picks him in opposite side rafters, which is really low percentage shot. Just happened to work out for him there. So we only have 1 guy upper. Now we have 2, and then I'm going to come in heaven here. We're getting smoked out heaven and mini, so we kind of have a feeling that they're hitting upper. And then they kind of hold the push there. That round was really hard because they got that spam shot and killed our guy upper without even having a chance at it. And then they actually ended up taking the round to the same spot before we had a chance to rotate. And then they smoked us off on the rotate, so I had to drop down forklift, and I could only get 1 kill instead of a few. So what we're going to do now is we're going to play a stack outside. However, we're going to play a little more aggressive this time as opposed to the pass save where we played passive. Maybe mix it up a little bit. He gets a booster on yellow, so I want to try and pick here. Hoping that there's a guy that's going to be quick running at him, but he doesn't. So it could have been a better eco on our part, but we got two guns. We're okay with that. We need to win out here. We're going to go ahead and buy. If we win this round, they're probably not saving. They're probably able to buy again. So we need to put a couple rounds in a row here to get them on an eco. Like I said, I'm going to play mini until I figure out exactly what spawn they're going to use to rush upper. And until they put too much pressure on outside, there's really no reason for me to full-time watch outside. I know they have 2 oppers, so I figured they're probably going to try and boost sometime. Maybe work some picks outside. And I was waiting for that guy up there, and I just happened to miss him. I missed that shot twice in this match. It's not, apparently it's not one of my better shots. Cronus picks up 2 at ramp. We notice there's a third guy there. I'm going to quick rotate. I see him drop down. I tell my teammate, and then I sit here. I want them to think that it's clear. And it worked out pretty well. He rushes out thinking that ramp's clear. And I get a free kill there. Other than that, we know that one guy dropped lower. They still have 2 alive. We're just going to kind of play passive here now at this point. I mean, we've got 4 alive in control of big ladder and upper or lower. He ends up being in the vent. I can just turn and peek him there. Works out pretty well. That's 1 round we need. We need to get another one here to ensure that they're going to be eco. Deppy's still a little low on money. As you can see, he's only got 3,500. I always tell my guys at 3,500, go ahead and buy a Colt with flashes. Most important thing is that you have a gun and counter flashes on just about any CT side. So I'm going to keep playing mini here, waiting for an upper rush. I don't see anything. I do hear a couple flashes outside, so I'm going to pay more attention to it. I'm just going to kind of spot up for them here. Maybe they're going to rush. I can hear their guys spamming through big ladder, or I mean through their roof. So we're going to kind of think that they're going to do the same thing they did on that first gun round, which is going to be an upper smoke take. So we're going to kind of play accordingly here. I'm going to play a little passive, that way I can rotate big ladder or ramp. They haven't put too much pressure on outside, so once again, I'm not too worried about it. And from this point, I can see if they get in my mini. But I see the smokes come mini as well as heaven. So we pretty much know that they're going to do an upper take. The difference this time is we actually have 2 people in upper, and they don't get that early entry kill. And it's an easy hold for us. So that works out. Now it's 12 to 10. We've put 2 rounds in a row together. Could be expecting a save here on their part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of expect a save. My ramp player has a Colt right now. I'd rather not have 2 Colts there. I'd rather have a Colt and an op. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my second ramp player play upper. I'm going to play ramp with them and leave outside open. That way we can have these guys looking at me, and he can get the kills while they're looking at me. And that's exactly what happened. When I'm over here under that in that same spot, they come out, they want to look at me and they want to kill the opper. As when that happens, the Coulter can just kind of push up and get any kills he can get. They shouldn't be looking at him. So that's a great crossfire to keep in mind if you ever play ramp. Team's going heavy ramp on you. You can even play it with... now you can see we've got heaven smokes here. I'm expecting an upper rush. So I'm going to play mini still. And then just kind of go from there. These guys have to focus on me, and my teammates can pretty much just shoot them while they're doing all of that. So now I can count from now on. Right now it's 12 to 12. I know in 4 rounds from now they're going to have that exact same spawn. Because everyone knows in the spawn count should stay the same. So every 4 rounds they're going to have that exact same spawn. So I'm going to kind of play the same spot just because they haven't put a whole lot of pressure on outside. But I do hear a couple deagles out here. So I know they're on an eco again. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of peek him a little more aggressively than I normally would. Looks like they sent a couple ramp as well. we heard that they had one down vents, so I came to mini. And as my teammate dropped down, the guy peeked from hut window, and I could help save him there a little bit. So we're kind of on a roll here. We get a couple rounds together on CT side, and we're doing pretty good on money. I've got 14K left over, so should be okay on money for here on out, unless we start losing. Now, what happens on that exact round is they open the squeaky door backwards to try and pick me. I knew that's what they were doing. I got my shot off in time, which works out fine. The only difference is he was crouched. I didn't expect him to be crouched. If he wasn't crouched, I would have had my shot off before him, and I'd have won that pick battle. So I could have been a little more passive about it, but I'm more of an aggressive opera as it is. So that's why I picked it. What we do here, though, is not good. When I die, it's not really a devastating loss because I'm playing outside, and they can't plant outside. So what I try and tell my guys is when I die outside, or if I die outside, to kind of go into our passive setup, play 2 upper and 2 ramp. And if they try and come from outside, then they have to come to either upper or ramp to win the round. But the difference is when I died, Deppy ran outside, and then he died, and then Cronus was left at ramp by himself, and then he tried to push, and he died. So it left a 5-on-2 for our upper guys here, and they still actually almost have the round. So if we would have just played how we had practiced, we would have had that round rather easily. But like I said, our money is really strong right now. We're not too worried. It's 13-13. We're CT side. We should easily be able to win out here. What I'm going to do this round is something I haven't done this entire match, is smoke off these barrels. When we've played these guys in the past and I've played outside from old teams, I've smoked out the barrels and sat on top of them. And as you can see, I can see through it. They can't see any part of me. So I know they don't work outside a whole lot other than going yellow, so I'm just going to kind of peek here. And I get too aggy with my fingers, and I'm just moving around on my strafe keys instead of focusing on him actually peeking, and he gets the shot off before I do. I kind of froze up. Should have been an easy kill for myself, but I missed it. But my team does play passive here, which is good. We're kind of playing exactly how we'd practiced. And Josh gets an early kill here, and then is able to drop lower, and Deppy's able to come pick him off. And we are well in control of the round now. We're up a man. We also have control of big ladder. We're up another man. They take one of us out and trade off. So we know one of the last 2 is in mini garage. So our lower guy's going to rotate the vents to kind of help. The thing that loses us this round, well, that loses that part of the round, is they take up big ladder. What we could have done is played the time a little better. As you can see, the bomb's just now going to plant. If we would have played the time a little better, we could have had 2 people alive to pick that guy instead of 1. So that was our fault a little bit. But our biggest problem is, once again, we have a hard time holding the big ladder. His counter flashes were a little late. He wasn't peeking it aggressively, and he wasn't playing it as well as he should have. So they were able to take it. Once a T-sided team takes control of big ladder, it's really hard to win that round. So I'm going to play something similar. I'm going to play a little passive here and be ready to help out anywhere I can. They do their normal slow start and then I'm just going to kind of wait for him. I'm playing in heaven right now, locker room area, just trying to get a couple shots off before they see me here. And I see that one spammed outside, so I missed a shot, a really easy shot I should have had. But then they get a split on upper, something similar to what we've done. And I'm going to rotate here and get a couple kills on the rotate. That little bar right in front of me there on catwalk can block an op shot completely. One thing good to remember if you're an opper, that hurt me because that should have been an easy kill. We get a call that the last guy dropped vents to lower. I'm going to kind of go ramp here. If he tries to plan, I'll be able to kill him. But Deppy actually beats me to it. So now we're at 14-14. We're in really good shape. 14-14. They have to save unless they want to kind of deagle. But then if they lose this round, they have to deagle again. So they're going to be saving. And then basically when they save here, that's going to give us the 15th round. And we're going to be going either for the win or into overtime next round. So we're going to kind of play like we've normally played. What you don't see on my screen is what's going to be really important about this round. I'm going to kind of rotate so that I can quick rotate anywhere here. But our ramp guys are playing really, really, really passive holding ramp right now. We have a guy behind yellow and a guy behind headshot. And not exactly how you want to play when a team's saving. You want to play aggressive so that they can't walk up close to you. And then when they get these flashes off that you hear at ramp, they get 2 kills here without any entries from our team. And they get 3 straight entry kills on us with deagles. Makes it really hard for us to win this round. Now it's a 1-on-3. We get a little break here. AZK tries to help us out a little bit with a TK. Now Dream basically has to kill 2 of them here to win this round to send it into overtime or win us this round, win us this match. So we lose that eco, which is huge because now we not only are hurting for money, but if we lose this round, we lose the match instead of if we lose this round. This time we'd be going into overtime. So I'm going to have a Galil or a FAMAS with no armor, as well as most of my team has a Galil or something of that nature. So I'm going to try and play a little aggressive out here. Maybe see if I can get something going for my team because they haven't really worked it too aggressive outside. I hit him for 88 and 3. I guess I could have played a little more passive or used a nade before I peeked it. It's just surprising that he's just sitting there waiting for a push when I haven't pushed the entire match. So I didn't expect that. So now we're just playing our default passive setup here. The only difference we have this time is I have Dream inside of hut in case they decide to do their upper flashes. They won't blur his vision at all, and they shouldn't expect him to sit inside of hut either. And you can hear them running on mini as well. So Cronus is going to try and put a flank on here, and he goes a little too quick. He should have waited until they hit upper before he tried to flank. But we still have upper. We have control of the round. We get a couple entry kills here from Deppy. Now it's a 1-on-2.
Fuck, I should have had.
And it's basically come down to him just being a 1-on-2 here. He needs to get this round. And he actually loses. He comes back up to vent and gets killed. So that does it for that. Once again, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time.